Good evening and welcome to the Newman City Council regular meeting, July 8th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain stand for invocation. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, please bless this meeting and the citizens of the city and our employees, that we carry out our business in the best interest of everybody within our city limits. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pimentel. Mayor Pro Tem Ball.
Here.
Councilmember Tomlinson.
Here.
Councilmember Harden. Mayor Graham.
Here. Any declarations of conflicts or interest? None. Items from the public, non-agenda items. Anybody wishing to speak in front of the public, please go ahead and step up to the mic up there. And welcome.
Thank you. My name is Jack Bash, and I'm at 630 Lady Slipper Lane. I would like to see the intersections of Driscoll, Kern, and Highway 33 restriped. When the intersection of 33 and Inyo was rebuilt and widened, right turn lanes were added to 33 onto Inyo. I believe that 33 at Driscoll and Kern is wide enough to add right turn lanes onto 33 from Driscoll and Kern. Currently, there are no lane markings from 33 onto Driscoll and Kern. However, it is common practice for motorists to behave as if there are. I believe having people pass on the right where there are no lane markings creates a driving hazard. Also, while there are traffic sensors on Kern where the right turn lane would be, there are no lane turn markings. Perhaps if right turn lanes cannot be added to 33, it would be possible to get restriping on both Driscoll and Kern. On Driscoll, it would be nice to have the striping from 33 to M Street, or at the very least to the tracks. With Highway 33 being a state road, I understand it may be necessary to work with the state to accomplish this request. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll look into it. We appreciate it. Anybody else wishing to speak? Justin, welcome.
Usually long-winded, so I like to give my time to the public when possible. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In Newman, Justin Farkas, representing the office of Assemblyman Juan Alanis in the 22nd Assembly District. As always, thank you for opening your doors to our office and allowing us to host our monthly office hours here in the city of Newman at the community center. In Sacramento, I'm sure you guys have heard, I know that Mr. Tomlinson has brought up to me a number of times regarding the LCFS and gas tax increase that we saw at the beginning of the month. Originally, the governor had indefinitely suspended the low carbon fuel standard move that CARB had made immediately after the election last November. Well, they reinstated the LCFS standard, so that went into effect July 1st alongside the rising of the gas tax by an additional 8 cents. So we can expect as the tax comes into place, these new standards get put into place, about a 75% or 75 cent increase on gas, not just in the Central Valley, but across the state. We're already seeing numbers in Southern California as high as $6, which is really concerning because all the bad ideas that come out of there usually make their way up the 99 here into the Central Valley. However, we did try to stop this. We were co-sponsors of Assembly Bill 12. Our colleagues, which that bill would have effectively eliminated the LCFS ruling that was made by CARB. Our colleagues in the legislature decided that wasn't the right choice for Californians, that 65 cent increase was not the best decision for families like we have in our community that are severely hurting by this gas cost increase. However, we're still fighting to see some type of common sense reform and affordability here in the state of California. Specifically in the Assemblyman's Court, we have had 5 bills passed over to the Senate now. 2 of those bills dealing with elections transparency and the speed in which we count ballots here in the state of California, trying to alleviate some of the pressure on Registrar of Voters Office and Elections Office says here in the state of California, just allowing them to start counting sooner and processing ballots sooner, considering we have universal vote by mail in the state of California, as well as giving public access to precinct maps, which will be incredibly important to understand who's getting what ballot and why. 2 other bills that we have are building on top of Nevaeh's law, which I've talked to you guys a number of times, which is AED access for youth sports organizations. Got a couple bills through that are really just trying to clean that up and make sure that access is equitable, training is fair and reasonable for all youth sports organizations here in the state of California, and make sure there's no issues with insurability and things like that as well. And lastly, our 5th and final bill we have in the Senate has to do with how evidence is handled with children who may be facing crimes of sexual exploitation and other exploitative type of crimes that could happen to kids, just making sure those types of evidence, such as video and photo, are not being copied and handed over to, say, defense attorneys, just making sure that children are not being re-victimized through the judicial process. So that's my report for this month. I'm being told you may not have a month one in August, so I will not be driving out here, but see you guys in September.
Is there any further action that's going to be taken against CARB to try to change those? Because the biggest issue that I see with it is that the California Air Resource Board is making regulations that are costing Californians a ton of money on fuel, but they're appointed, they're not even elected, they're appointed to their position and they're controlling our prices.
As far as we're concerned, the California Air Resources Board is the most powerful unelected bureaucratic board west of the Mississippi and probably nationwide. Their powers are unfathomable, quite frankly, and they don't even follow the standing of what the legislature has laid out for them. But at the same time, and now this goes without saying, we're a very bipartisan office. We always have been. That we pride ourselves in working with both sides of the political spectrum here in the state of California. However, when you've got 21 members who are saying this unelected board takes things too far and puts their regulations on the back of the consumer, which is families here in the Central Valley, and the other 59 are saying, no, we care about, their excuse, to be frank, is we care about the environment. When we're the true, we've been longstanding conservatives. We created the national park system, for Christ's sake, here in this country. It's really hard to get those kind of things done. So my advice to those in this room who may have friends and family in other parts of this state who are sick of paying $6 of gas at the pump every single summer. Thankfully, it's been a fairly mild summer this year, but as we start seeing those 107, 108 degree days like we do at the back end of July, August, and September, all the way through Labor Day, expect those prices to continue to go up. And once you get sick of it, tell your friends and family in other parts of the state who are sick of it too to call their legislator and let them know that this is really impacting their way of life. Thank you.
Has anyone reached out to you guys regarding issues with PG&E doing the same thing?
Yeah, to a degree. We don't truthfully, we don't have a ton of PG&E customers in our district. Most of our constituency falls under MID or TID. So we haven't heard too many of those issues from our district in particular, but I'm sure there's plenty of them. I just became a PG&E customer myself about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't gotten the bill yet, but I'll be sure to bring it to Juan once I hear about it.
You'll enjoy it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Thank you. My name is John Beekman. I reside at 724 Barrington Avenue. As some of you may be aware, on June 26th at about 11:50, we had a speeding driver cruise down Barrington and take out 5 vehicles. Of those 5 vehicles, 3 of them are mine. I wish I could say this is a isolated incident, but it's not. This is the second time my neighbor's vehicle has got hit. My concern is the amount of speeding up and down Barrington Avenue. We have a park there, we have a school there. We have 3 speed bumps at the park, we have nothing past that. Once they get past that park, they open it up. That is about a quarter mile, and they are doing 60, 70 miles an hour down the street. I know the police can't patrol all the time. What I'm asking for is some sort of speed deterrent be installed on the streets. Again, I'd rather be proactive than reactive, even if it costs us a little money up front, because on the back end, we're talking about lives, especially children's lives, and that's my concern. That's all I have to say, and I hope you guys can take a look at that for me.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
A family member of mine recently moved to Southington, which is also a long stretch. And when I go there to help with the yard work, there are cars doing 60 to 70 miles per hour down that street. Then there's Eucalyptus,
Right.
Balsam, Barrington, Canyon Creek is also a long stretch. Inyo. We have put 3 speed bumps on Barrington. It's not doing the job. We can only do so much enforcement. So I have empathy for your situation. It's all of our situations. We all have young kids. I now have a grandchild who's going to be running around out there. We need to do more to address this. And I'm not saying necessarily from a enforcement position, but whether it be more stop signs, more speed bumps, because it's really gotten out of control. And it's all demographics when I watch the people go by. It's old people, it's young men, it's teenagers, it's housewives, husbands. So I think with those long stretches, people just forget. You know, they forget that they're in a neighborhood and it's just a straightaway and it's like, go for it. We got somewhere to be. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
You go to the microphone.
Yeah, you gotta go to the mic because people at home have to hear you, Jack. So it makes it hard.
I live on Lady Slipper Lane, which is very close to Balsam, and I've actually gone into the police department physically and requested extra patrols up and down. People are basically not stopping at the stop signs. While I can't estimate the speed, I can tell that they're going pretty fast down through there. Sweet Gum and Balsam, many children walk through there to get to the school that's on Barrington. So yes, we definitely need a little bit more emphasis on patrolling the areas. And again, the police can't be everywhere all at once. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jesus Alonso. I live at 701 Barrington Avenue, and I also want to express my frustration with the way some of the people is driving through the area. I mean, I'm talking about from flying through the stop sign on Sherman Parkway. I mean, I'm thinking probably maybe we can improve it. I'm not sure. When my kids were little, I used to call police, and they were really good at, reacting to it. But I don't think that's really the solution to it, because by the time police gets there, people's already gone. I was thinking maybe we can start by putting some lights on the stop signs. I don't know, just in case there's a driver that really doesn't know the stop is there, although I don't think is the case. I also want to support the request for the speed bumps in the area on the Barrington Avenue, and that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Hello, everyone. I also live in Barrington, 700. And that night, with all those 5 cars that got hit, plus debris hitting 2 other cars in the driveway, it's very, very dangerous. We do see people running the stop signs, and the speed bumps, I think, would help. But I know that's a problem probably everywhere. There needs to be an answer. I'm just grateful that nobody was injured or killed. Thank you.
What was your name, ma'am, for the record?
My name?
Yes.
Mary Alves,
Thank you.
700 Barrington.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Well, we appreciate all your guys' concerns tonight, and we'll take a look into them. Obviously, we have many of the same concerns. We all live in those neighborhoods, and it is dangerous, and cars fly. I got little kids that ride their bikes in the street, too, and so it's very concerning.
And all of us up here are in Barrington Park all the time, from coaching youth baseball, football. We see it as well. So you guys aren't alone. Every one of us up here have seen it.
Thank you guys for all your comments. We appreciate it. Item number 8, consent calendar. A, waive all readings of ordinance and resolution except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the June 24, 2025 meeting.
Move to accept the consent calendar.
I'll second.
First, second. Motion carries 3-0 with 2 absent. Public hearings, none. Regular business. Second reading and adoption of ordinance 2025 next number, an ordinance amending Title 5 zoning of the municipal code to implement program 1.2 of the 6th cycle 2023 through 2031 housing element update, and authorize staff to publish a summary of said ordinance. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Today we're going through again program 1.2 of the implementing the 2023-2031 housing element update. We went over the specifics last time, but city law does require us to adopt a housing element, and we did that in November of last year. In April of this year, we started the program with 1.9, and it also went to the Planning Commission. They looked at program 1.2, which we're seeing here today. We did hold a public hearing at our June 24th meeting. Following that meeting, the council, following that public hearing, the council voted 3-1 to introduce the ordinance. Tonight, we're asking you to conduct a second reading and adopt the ordinance. This ordinance does make some changes, some general amendment changes to our zoning code, and what it does is it does permit some zoning for a variety of housing types. Some of those housing types include transitional supportive housing, single room occupancy, also some parking standards and some of the other things that would make us in compliance with state law. So we've talked to our attorneys about that. It's something that we believe that we need to do to stay in compliance, to keep us eligible to get grant funding for our community. So with that, staff is recommending that the council conduct a second reading and adopt ordinance amending Title 5 of the municipal code to implement program 1.2 and authorize staff to publish a summary of said ordinance. I can answer any questions you may have.
I'll open up to the public for anybody that wants to make a comment. All right, seeing none. Before we take a vote on it, I'd like to say I'm highly against it in the fact that the state should not be telling lower governments how to run their cities and how they should develop them. That should be up to us to how we want to develop our community. However, they hold our grant funding against us, so they leave us no option, unfortunately, to follow their guidelines. So unfortunately, I have to vote for it.
So I'll move we adopt item 10A, the second reading and adoption of ordinance in number 2025, an ordinance amending Title 5 zoning of the municipal code to implement program 1.2 of the 6th cycle 23 to 31 housing element update, and authorize staff to publish a summary of said ordinance.
In the words of Ron Burgundy, bleep you, Sacramento, I second it.
Motion carries 3-0 with 2 absent. Items from the city manager and staff. Michael?
Thank you. I want to thank all the members from Barrington, the house owners coming up today. Speeding is not unique to your part of the community. We find it all the way across our community. Unfortunately, I think it's a community, it's a statewide thing. I think you see it in all communities, and I think it's really just becoming part of our culture, and that's too sad because it really does. It shows a lack of respect that people have for our homeowners who live in that particular area. So Ashley, our sergeant's going to put the radar out there. We'll collect some data, and then we'll try to work with our traffic engineers to see if there's some things that we can do up front. Maybe that's some traffic calming kind of things that we can do out there. Barrington is very important to us, as you know, because we have baseball fields out there. We have lots of kids that are out there a lot, and so coming into this fall, there's going to be a lot of families out there. So we will increase enforcement out there, but it's not necessarily unique to your side, but that doesn't downplay it. It's important to all of us, and I think anybody here who lives in town can tell you examples of people running stop signs and speeding on their streets, no matter where they live in town. It's just an unfortunate situation. I think it's more of a cultural thing than it is a community thing. So hopefully we can kind of nip that in the bud. There'll be some growing pains because once we start writing those tickets on people, they're going to get upset with it. But follow the laws, and we won't have to go through that. So. Mayor, I don't have much to report tonight other than we do have a planning commission meeting set for next Thursday, the 17th. So with that, I can answer any questions the council may have.
No. Allie?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Just to inform you that we have a movie night, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 19th. We will be out there around 4:35 with kids' activities starting as early as 5 p.m. The movie will play at dusk, and we will continue to work with the mosquito abatement to hopefully clear out the mosquitoes like we did last time. I can answer any questions that y'all may have.
Thank you, Allie.
You're welcome.
Sergeant?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. Other than just reiterating what the city manager said, I did write down the 700 block of Barrington and Lady Slipper between Balsam and Eucalyptus. I'll move the radar trailer over there. We only have one, so bear with me. It does sit there for a little bit to collect the data that we need, and then I'll move it again. It's not a problem. Anybody else who happens to be watching, if you do have a complaint, an area of complaint, then call the police department, and then one of the office ladies can send me an email with the area that you want addressed. Also, the good news is the County Integrated Traffic Enforcement Team is made up of officers from all agencies in Stanislaus County. It's coming back to Newman in August. I won't tell you the date, but it will be here again, and I'll make sure that they know to address those areas as well. Everybody else, the incident that you're speaking of was also a distracted driving incident as well as speed. So everybody needs to put their phones down. No California rolls, and I'm not talking about the sushi. Complete stops. Stops are what you want your kids to do when you tell them to stop doing something. So other than that, I have nothing. Anybody has any questions, I'm happy to address them.
I had a question regarding the traffic enforcement. They usually come in the morning time. Is there a way that they could alter the schedule? Because summer's out, less people are out. Is early in the morning, maybe afternoon, early evening? Are they only doing day shift stuff?
They do adjust. We've been in Modesto, and they've been starting later because it typically is used to address school-related problems.
That might be a good issue, especially in that area.
Yeah. School will be in session when we are coming back to Newman.
Okay.
So I still won't tell you the date, though.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Sergeant. Nothing to report tonight. Thank you. Thomas?
Good evening. And to reiterate what Michael said and what Sergeant said, thank you for your comments. We'll take them into consideration, as Michael said. Additionally, I wanted to remind everyone we are working on a safety action plan. It's called Safe Streets for All, and we take community input in identifying problem areas. Now, some place like Barrington, that's much more noticeable. Thank you for the comments. So I'll integrate those comments into those community outreach part of that plan. Additionally, we're putting together stakeholders to help develop that. And that plan will ultimately help us gain funding, but also look at verified ways of traffic calming and addressing speed and other road safety issues we see. It helps us gain that funding, but also have a plan to address some of those things. And so we are working on that, and it does take some time, but we are working towards that. Not only the Barrington, but also, Jack, your comments will be integrated in that survey. And then a reminder, there is a survey on our city website for the Safe Streets for All, and be on the lookout for more community engagement. In addition to that, some may have either seen it themselves or heard about a couple potholes developed on Jensen Road, right at Jensen and Fig, where some new work was, the new paving was done. Currently, Public Works, our contractor and our engineering team are investigating what caused it. There's a patch right now. That patch will not be final. That's not a final look, but we need to. The patch was there for both safety, and we don't have to close down that part of the road while we investigate. It could be from a couple issues that can cause that subsidence that we were seeing in the two potholes. And so we're investigating that, and then we'll be repairing it to the quality that we expect from that new project. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Chief Bowen?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. A few things. We did have one of our firefighters deployed as overhead into the Madre fire that's out by Santa Maria. It's approximately 80,610 acres, about 55% contained. So hopefully we can keep that person in our thoughts and prayers as they're out there representing Newman for us. Also, our big red fire engine is in the shop, so it's made a short-term change to our response because we're down one engine, but rest assured we still have a plan in place, and we're going to be responding to calls as always. Follow up on 4th of July, we did have one dumpster fire and one small grass fire, no significant injuries, and I can answer any other questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Pro-Tem?
So with the closing of Rite Aid, that shopping center is looking worse and worse. As you enter on the alley side off of Inyo, there's always a trash can out. There's a lot of trash. I don't know if homeless are loitering there. The pavement is terribly torn up. It's really an eyesore, and people travel through our community on Highway 33 to go to destinations like Monterey, Santa Cruz, and just like through Oakdale. I don't know if there's anything we can do as a city. I'm sure there is, to put some pressure on the owners of that land to start putting a little more investment into it. It's fine if Rite Aid is shut down, though that hurts. It's fine if we have a vacant building there, but it would be nice to kind of lean in on them to beautify it a little bit, because right now it's an eyesore. And for those of you who shop in Nob Hill, those carts, when you go through the grocery stores, or they're stuck, it's partially because that parking lot is so torn up. So I'm hoping out of city pride, there's something that we can do to get the landlord to make it look a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll get code enforcement on them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing? Well, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July, and we appreciate everybody coming and speaking tonight. It's probably one of the more amount of people that we've had speak, so we appreciate you guys all for taking your time and coming down here to address stuff. Thank you guys so much. With that, I'll ask for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.